Hi guys, welcome to my channel or welcome back. My name is Crystal and welcome to my August reading wrap up. So I'm going to start off with saying that I definitely did not read as many books as I did the month before. I ended up reading 6 books for the month of August. Here's a little sneak peek of them right here. I don't think it's any surprise here that 4 of them were romance novels. One is a mystery thriller and one is what I would consider like a women's fiction. So the first book that I read is Swift and Saddled by Lila Sage. Now this is part of the Rebel Blue Ranch series. Last month I had read the first book in the series. The first one was Done and Dusted, and this one followed Luke and Emmy, and the second one follows Weston, which is Emmy's brother, and Ada. The back of the book pretty much sums it up. It says, she's the city girl who refuses to be saddled with a man. He's the cowboy who wants her anyway. She is definitely more of like the black cat and Wes is more of like the golden retriever vibes. I think it was overall fun to be able to follow the characters again and to be part of this world again. I do enjoy all of the aspects where, like I said with the first one, that it felt like it was a Yellowstone in book form. That part was a lot of fun. I loved all the descriptions. I just felt like the same way that I did with the first one, that I wasn't so connected with the characters. I mean, Ada was pretty mean. She was pretty harsh. And Wes was just like such a nice guy. He was so good to her. I think overall the romance was okay. I just didn't feel that much of a connection to these characters. If you like the small town cowboy romance books, then give this one a chance. The next one that I read is None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell. And I'm really, really glad that I finally decided to pick this one up. This one was really good. I gave this one 4.5 stars. I really enjoy Lisa Jewell's writing. I just feel like her writing is so fast paced. I was interested the whole time. I couldn't turn the pages fast enough. It was so good. This one is following Alex and Josie, and they end up meeting because they're both celebrating their 45th birthday, and they go out to the same restaurant or pub, and they end up running into each other, and they end up talking in the bathroom about the fact that, oh my gosh, like we have the same birthday. This is so cool. And after that, Josie kind of becomes like infatuated with Alex. Alex seems like she's got like the perfect life. She's got a great family. She's got a great husband. She's pretty successful being a famous podcaster. Josie, she just seems very troubled just right from the beginning. Like you're getting her point of view. Where not happy in her marriage. There's some issues going on. Like one of her daughters is missing. The other one kind of keeps to herself. But she kind of just becomes infatuated with Alex and how perfect her life is. And after she runs into her, she tells her, I feel like this is more than just like a coincidence. Like this was like fate that we were meant to meet. I have a lot of changes that I want to make in my life, and I think that it would be perfect if you feature me on your podcast. And then Alex is like really intrigued by that because she kind of was feeling like she wanted to take a different turn with her podcast. And she's like, I would love to support another woman. She said that she has a lot to tell. She has a story to tell, and this could be a big break for me for my podcast. It can be even better than it already is. So she says, okay to that. They decide to film this kind of documentary or podcast together. Josie talking about her life and what she wants to do with her life. And then it just goes from there. So much that happens in this book. You have to read it. It's really good. The next book that I picked up was Magnolia Parks Into the Dark by Jessa Hastings. Now this is book number 5 in the Magnolia Parks series. This is a series that's, I think, going to continue for at least another 2 books, but we are getting Magnolia Park's point of view and then also Daisy Hate's point of view. If you've never read this series before, every other book is following different characters, but they're all within like the same world. There's Magnolia Parks and then there's the Daisy Hates. And just to sum it up, in case you haven't heard of the Magnolia Parks series, basically everyone compares it to Gossip Girl. It's like Gossip Girl, but they're in London in the UK. It really is a lot deeper than that. The writing is really amazing. Jessa Hastings, she just has a way of writing so poetically and so beautifully. The only thing I will say that this one I didn't love, and I feel like it's an unpopular opinion, I didn't love this one as much as I loved the first 2 Magnolia Parks books. Number 1, this one was the longest one at a whopping over 700 pages. It's a 700-page book. Tell me why it took me practically a week to read this. I don't know if it was because just the content of this book. I ended up picking this one for my August TBR for it being a sad book. I had to pick a sad book, and this one was very sad. It was hard to get through. If you haven't read this book yet, I feel like I can't completely tell why this one was sad without giving so much away. It's just Magnolia, the main character. She's dealing with just, it says it on the back, a devastating loss, but I'm not going to say what the loss is in case you haven't read it and it's a major spoiler. I do think that there's a lot of character development in this one. I think that Magnolia and BJ have come a long way. If you compare the first book to this one, there's so much character development. Like BJ, I feel like really redeemed himself. It's definitely worth the read. If you can read a 700-page book, I mean, and the font is really tiny too, you should give it a try. I would definitely give this one between a 4 and a 4.5 star. Still not 100% sure, but I think I would give this a 4 star. I still thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm going to continue the series. This is the last Magnolia Parks book, but I know the Daisy Hates books are going to continue, and I definitely want to see where the story goes with those. But overall, I enjoyed it. It just took me a really long time to get through it, and just go in knowing that this is mostly, it's sad. The next book that I picked up is Happily Never After by Lynn Painter. This is not the first Lynn Painter book that I've read. The first one that I read is Better Than the Movies by her, and that one I thoroughly enjoyed. That was a 5-star book for me, so I was really excited to pick this one up. The Better Than the Movies is considered a YA romance novel, but this one is in the adult category. This one I thoroughly enjoyed. Again, I feel like it's the unpopular opinion because I have listened to and read several reviews for this book, and I feel like a lot of people were disappointed with this one, but I thought it was cute. I thought that it delivered exactly what I was expecting. I just went to this one next. I chose this one purposely to read after the Magnolia Parks books because that one was, the content was pretty sad, and I was like, I need something that's just going to be a quick and easy lighthearted read, and that's exactly what this was. It delivered for that. This book is following Sophie and Max, and it starts like you just get right into the story. As soon as you start reading the first page, which I love too, you don't get too much backstory. You're just right in it. Sophie realizes that she's about to get married. She is literally, it starts where it's already the day that she's getting married, and her soon-to-be husband had cheated on her a second time. He cheated on her once. She knew about it. She forgave it. And then he cheated on her again. And she was like, I cannot marry this guy. I don't know what to do because it's such a complicated situation because her soon-to-be husband's dad is her father's boss. So she didn't want to mess up the relationship for her dad. So her best friend ends up discovering that this guy here, Max, is an objector at weddings. He will come and like right before you say I do, he objects, and he's kind of the person that takes the brunt of everything, the fall. It's more falls on Max. So Max comes to her wedding, he objects, Sophie's off the hook, and then it just goes from there. So they end up meeting and sparks fly. It's a really cute book. It's cute and lighthearted and fun, and I highly recommend it if you're just looking for a quick and easy read. Next book that I picked up is The Paradise Problem by Christina Lauren. Now, this one, it was a 5-star book. It's a 5-star. I was not expecting this book to be as good as it was, and maybe that's really not fair because I absolutely loved Love and Other Words by Christina Lauren. That was one of the first romance books that I read when I started getting back into reading again. I loved it. I thought it was so cute and heartwarming, and it was a childhood friends to lover trope, which I absolutely love that trope. And so I shouldn't have expected anything less by reading another Christina Lauren book. I just felt like the writing was so good on this one. This was one of the perfect books to read for the summer. The only thing that I wish is that I brought this to the beach with me because I'm going to the beach this month, and I kind of wish that I saved this book to read on the beach because the vibes are perfect for that. This story is following Anna and West. The main trope of this one is marriage of convenience. The two of them end up getting married so that they can get subsidized housing at their college. And they end up living together. They're roommates together, but they don't really even get to spend that much time together. After they're done with graduating college, Anna just thinks, oh, we're just going to go our separate ways. Like, Wes gives her some paperwork. She signs. She thinks they get divorced. And then I think about a year later, he comes back. He comes to her doorstep. He's like, hey, yeah, by the way, we're still married. And yeah, I'm going to need your help. I'm going to need you to come on a big trip with me to attend my sister's wedding, and you need to meet my family, and we need to just keep going with this charade. You got to pretend that we're madly in love so that I can get my inheritance. It turns out that she had no idea. West is very wealthy. He's very well off, but in order to get his big lump sum inheritance, he has to be happily married for at least 5 years. They're almost at the 5-year mark. And he said, I need your help. I really need your help. I'm going to give you a big lump sum of the money if you help me. I think he says he's going to give her about $100,000. Turns out that she's struggling. She's a struggling artist. Her dad has some health issues. He has a lot of medical bills. She wants to take care of that. And it's just like kind of like perfect timing that he's offering her this amount of money, and this situation just happens to fall into her lap. So she says, yes, I'm going to do it. And it just goes from there. So I love Anna's personality. She is just laugh out loud hilarious. I found myself laughing so many times throughout this book at just the things that she says and does. She's just got such a great personality. She's more of like the happy-go-lucky, free-spirited, just fun, willing to try anything, or outgoing person. And West is like the more like serious. He's the overthinker. He's very responsible, which is not a bad thing, but they end up really balancing each other out. But also she's got pink hair, which I thought was like really funny and different and cute. Absolutely loved this story. There was so much family drama. I think it was so well done. If you love the family drama trope, you will absolutely love this one. If you love like an opposites attract, you will love this one. If you like a destination wedding, or if you just like the vibes of like being at the beach, it was so descriptive and you could really feel like you were there. I loved everything about this book. Last but certainly not least, I squeezed this one in at the last minute. I didn't think I was going to have enough time to finish this one before the month ended, but I did finish this one right on the last day of August. And this one is Flawless by Elsie Silver. I've had these books on my shelf, the whole Chestnut Springs series books. They're right there. This is part of the Chestnut Springs series, 5 books in the series. I'm really glad that I finally decided to read this one. It was very, very enjoyable. This was a 4-star read for me. I want to say this in the kindest way, but if I'm going to compare, because these are pretty similar vibes, the Rebel Blue Ranch series and the Chestnut Springs series, I have to choose the Chestnut Springs series. I feel like what this one was lacking with feeling like connected to the characters, this one, I loved the characters in this one. I loved them. I am so excited to get through the entire Chestnut Springs series. I am already reading this one. I went right into the next one, into Heartless by Elsie Silver. I really like these characters. So if it's not obvious, this takes place in Chestnut Springs, and the story is following Summer and Rhett. Rhett is a very famous bull rider. He has a lot of sponsorships. He ends up one day in the heat of the moment saying something really bad about one of his sponsors. It gets the wrong attention, and basically Summer gets hired to do damage control. She works as underneath her father. Her father is Rhett's agent, and she also works on the team as well. She just recently got out of law school, and she got hired to also work and help out her father. So she ends up getting hired to be basically a babysit Rhett, and it just goes from there. He's not happy about it at first. There is a lot of tension. There's a lot of spice in this one, but this one I just feel like was done so much better than the Rebel Blue Ranch series. I just loved everything about this book. There was a lot of character development. There was a lot of family drama. There was just so much more depth to these characters than the other series. And that's why I fell in love with the Chestnut Springs series. So highly recommend it. Definitely pick it up. So that wraps up all 6 books that I read for the month of August. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. Please let me know down in the comments below if you read any of these books, and if you did, what you thought, or if you're going to pick up some of these books. I just want to know your thoughts. Let's just chat down below. Thank you again for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a like and a thumbs up, and subscribe if you want to come back for more. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.